Hello Shisha, welcome to 2012 KVPY question paper discussion. Let's begin this with quote. Know what you want to do, hold the thought firmly, and do every day what should be done, and every sunset will see you that much nearer the goal. This is what should be a daily thing to you. You have to set some goals, you have to check your progress every day, whether you're moving towards goal or getting deviated. Because in this generation it is very easy to get deviated from the goals, but there are a few people maybe like you who wants to move towards goal every day and hence working hard against all the routine deviations of goals. I wish you all the best to achieve the goals academically and in career. Let's continue with the first question. A smear of blood from a healthy individual is stained with nucleus strain called hemo hematoxylin and then observed under light microscope, which of the following cell type would be highest in number? If you look at all of these cells represent WBC cells, white blood cells, and you should supposed to know certain values so that you could be able to come to conclusion which cells are higher in fact. So here you can see the total leukocyte count is 4.0. And here the neutrophils is where 2.5 to 7.5 normal range, and the lymphocytes is 1.5 and monocytes is 0.2 and eosinophils is 0.04 and basophils least 0.01. Hence the right answer is the neutrophils because they will be more in number. Let's continue with next question. Which of the following biological phenomenon involves a bacteriophage production? So here the answer is transduction is a way of reproducing or infecting bacteria with virus. Next, 48th one, in which compartment of cell does the process of glycolysis takes place? We knew that aerobic respiration takes place in two places. One is cytoplasm and the one is the mitochondria. You know, the cytoplasm is a destination where the glycolysis takes place, and in mitochondria where the Krebs cycle takes place. So Krebs cycle is only in mitochondria and cytoplasm glycolysis, which releases uh, which releases pyruvic acid. The pyruvic acid will be again transformed into a suitable product in Krebs cycle, which releases carbon dioxide and FADH2, which is a primitive form of ATP molecule. So the answer for 48th one is B, cytoplasm. Next, Huntington's disease, or even it can be shortly called as HND, disease is disease of the nervous system. So here the patient will have a lot of symptoms like the motor neurons may not work properly and they feel difficulty in speech, and also the logical reasoning is badly affected for these patients. Let's move on to next question, 49th one. Uh, sorry, sorry, 50th one. A cell will experience the highest level of endosmosis when kept in. Answer is distilled water. Maybe you can see all of these. There are many reasons because the distilled water considered as one of the hypotonic solution or which has very less concentration, and it is not advisable for anyone to consume the distilled water. The reason is it may burst the cells. The nutrients will not be properly absorbed. So the water generally, what you can call as the mineral water, will have certain solutes in that which are good for your body. Next, 51st one. When the leaf of the touch me not plant is touched, the leaf drop because it's due to water lost from the cells, the leaf base of the base of the leaf, and it is one of the physiological change that takes place inside the leaf. That's why the leaf droops usually. Next is 52nd one. If you're seeing mangroves around you, which part of India are you visiting? You're actually at the Sundarbans because the region you can see mangroves only at Sundarbans. Next is myeloid tissue is a type of it's hemopoietic tissue or which produces WBC cells. Next is 54th one. The heart of an amphibian is usually this is actually the three-chambered one. You can see here frog, tortoise, and human. So human have four-chamber heart, and these ones, the frog has three-chambered. And look at exceptionally the turtles or transformations. They have a new developing, what do we say, developing septum, which is separating the the three chambers as well. Next, gigantism and acromegaly are due to defects in function of following gland. So obviously you can guess the answer, it's from pituitary. Next is 56 when the pH of 10 power minus 8 m HCl solution is. I think you have to approach your chemistry faculty, it's kind of chemistry question, but still the key says close to 7. Next, which one of the following organelles can synthesize some of its own proteins? You knew that mitochondria and plastids are considered as semi-autonomous organelles, hence they have their own genes. Obviously, if they have their own DNA, they obviously prepare their own proteins. So the answer for this is mitochondria. Next 58 one, maltose is a polymer of so two glucose molecules. 58 one is C. 59th one, the roots of some higher plants get associated with a fungal partner. The root provides food to the fungus while the fungus supplies water to roots. The structure so formed is known as mycorrhiza. So in lichens, you have to see, you may observe two partners, one is algal and the one is fungal. So hence fungi cannot be right answer here, Anabaena and Rhizobium are some species. So the right answer is C. Next, last question of part A. Prehistoric forms of life are found in fossils. The probability of finding fossils of more complex organisms. Here I try to provide the strata refers to a term relevant to the pedology or study of soils. Whenever you try to study the geological or fossils or geological fossils, the lower regions, you can see the picture, these are different strata. So here the from lower to upper, if a fossil found in the lower region, so uh, this one may have a less complexity than the upper one. The upper one will have more complexity. That's what more complex organisms will be going to be increased from the lower to upper layers of soil. Next, let us look at part B. A baby is born with normal number and distribution of rods but no cones in his eyes. We would expect that baby should be colorblind because cones play a major role in photoreceptors. These photoreceptors particularly help in recognizing the colors. Next, 77th one. In mammals, pleural membranes cover the lungs as well as insides of rib cage. Pleural fluid in between the two membranes. It has very important function to reduce the friction between ribs and lungs, and even sometimes if there is any puncture of this pleural membrane, there could be possibility of death as well. Next, 78 one. At which phase of cell cycle DNA polymerase activity at is at its highest? DNA replication generally happens in synthesis phase, hence the answer is S phase of cell cycle. DNA replication is an important process. It has three steps: initiation, elongation, and termination. So DNA replication has three stages. Initiation will require separation of DNA strands, and elongation requires DNA polymerase to make complementary bases, and in termination the stopping or again combining of DNA strands may take place. So that's what synthesis is right answer here. Next is 79th one. So here our hero Usain Bolt, Olympic runner, 100-meter sprint. We have will have more of which of the following in his muscles. Obviously, you knew when there is more amount of physical activity, the lactic acid formation will take place in muscles. Next, last one. Desert temperature often varies between 0 to 50 degrees. The DNA polymerase isolated from a camel living in the desert will be able to synthesize DNA most efficiently at. It could be around 37 degrees. You know, when you try to recall the relation between the enzyme activity and temperature, so generally the enzyme activity will be good at the normal temperatures or medium temperature. When it is too high also, the enzyme activity will not be so effective. Hence the answer 37 degrees. That's it from me from this paper discussion. So see you soon with other paper discussion.